The Justin Robert Young program brought to you, as always, by everybody who supports us. Pay JuRY Daily. Again, payjurydaily.com is where you need to go to support this show. We got one slot on the Grand Jury Open. We had one of them drop off. You want to get on in there, go right now, payjurydaily.com, as well as the #1 album on Amazon. Full stop. Not comedy, not new releases, not movers and shakers. No. The #1 album on Amazon. A top 5 album on all of iTunes. Yeah, not in comedy. Everywhere. Yeah, dude. This is All's Well, a Night Attack album. The brand new album from Brian and I. I'm just so pleased with it. I'm pleased with how it's done. I'm blown away by the fact that we're still in the top 5 on iTunes. And the only reason why we're not even higher is because XXX Temptation decided that he was going to release an album from beyond the grave. That man's dead. Shout out to Broward County. But that man is dead. And he's the only reason why we are one spot lower. We have kept there. Oh, my God. So excited. Head to whatever you want at this point. Amazon, Google Play, iTunes. They're all at the right price. $1.99. Stream it on Spotify. Stream it on Apple Music. Whatever you want. Keep going. Okay. Enough of talking about how we support the show. What do you say we just do the damn thing? Oh, friends. Busy day yesterday, an even busier day today. Hi, JuRY Daily, January 23rd, 2019. What are we? Are we less than? We are a week and a day away from the end of dry January. We'll be a week away tomorrow as we end the show. We'll be able to see to the end of dry January. Should be interesting. Will I make it? Will I or won't I? Here's what I won't be doing. I don't know if I'm going to be watching any more of this this tidying up with Kondo. What's less racist? If I just say Mary Kondo, or if I try to pronounce her name correctly and I come off as pandering, and instead it comes off as Kondo. I don't know. I genuinely just don't know. But I'll tell you what. I don't like the show. I genuinely just don't like the show. I don't think that it's a good show. I think it's a bad show. If you're unaware about what I'm talking about, this program features a very nice young lady. I don't know how young she is, but she is a celebrity in Japan who published a book that a lot of my friends have about the art of tidying up. All right. There's a lot of clutter, and there is a good, she's basically providing for you strategy, tips, and tricks as to how you can make your life even easier. You can genuinely have a better existence. All right, she's 34, which means she's younger than me, which means she's a young lady. Here's my thought. I don't like the show, not because I don't like her. I think she is great. I think she is fantastic. Here's what I don't like. Also, let me take this moment in the show to let you know that I've only seen one half of one episode. I have not given this show a fair shot. I watched one half of one episode and I was so frustrated with it, I turned it off. And I have not gone back. Now, I think many of you might say, all right, Justin, you're not giving it a fair shot. The first episode isn't a great episode. Many times the first episode is the pilot. What you do is you shoot it as an airable pilot. And you're still figuring things out. And maybe it changes and maybe it gets better. But here's what I don't like about the show. I don't like the show, not because Kondo is not great. I think she is great. I think she's fine. I think she's good. My problem with the show is the show itself. And by the show itself, I mean the producers. I think that they totally fucked up. They totally fucked up her as a personality. This is a bad way to show her, to showcase her and her talents. Because let's be real here. You got to stretch this taffy pretty fucking far if you want 45 minutes of screen time to be taken up by somebody organizing a house. You have to do things in a specific way, and I think that they make incorrect choices. I think that the people that are cast are given way too much dramatic responsibility. In reality shows, the way this thing works is you basically have your hosts. They carry X amount of the responsibility. You have the people that they're interacting with, if this is a show of this genre, right? So for Queer Eye, for the straight guy, this would be the straight guy. And then you have complications. So, oh my God, did Jimmy forget to get the sandwich? Well, we need to get the sandwich. Here's a crisis. We're going to resolve it. Whether or not these elements get better in the second episode, it will never erase the fact that I think that they didn't do this show correctly. And I'm going to tell you why. I believe that they shot this episode, they shoot this series as if it's a Queer Eye episode. But the Queer Eye guys are 4.5, really, 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 really charismatic people. Like, you can literally, they're some of the most fun moments of that show are just literally watching them talk to each other. They're obviously having a lot of time, having a good time. They're obviously being just fun, interesting people. Like, if you assume that you just point a camera at them, you're going to have something funny. If they were just doing a YouTube channel where they were talking about their favorite shows, I would want to watch it. So, how do you shoot it? Television genius, Justin Robert Young, how do you shoot this show? I'll tell you how you shoot this show. You have to showcase this woman. You have to showcase her. Instead of just having her be this person that shows up in these people's lives, you have to make, she's a unique human being. She is somebody that is like a sprightly creature from another universe, another dimension. She has a aura to her that is otherworldly. She is perfect for television, just not in the way that they're presenting her. They present her as if she's just some lady that walks through the door. When in reality, when she's like just looking at these people's lives and she's promising them salvation. She's promising them a better life. She's promising them a better marriage. She's promising them the idea that their kids will be healthier and happier. They will be connected more to their parents. This isn't about self-confidence. This isn't about, oh my God, here's the best way that you can learn how to paint. Go up and down instead of side to side. This isn't a little thing. She is promising amazing life life-changing abilities by way of the simplest concept. Clean your fucking room. This is brilliant. This is fantastic. But how do you showcase that? Walking through the front door? Hi, I'm Marie. No, she's Mary Poppins. She should be floating down on an umbrella. And I'm not saying that seriously, but I am saying make a little bit of a presentation to her showing up. Let's not dispense with all the hi, how you doing? Now all of a sudden she's just there. Here's the other problem. When you look at that first house that I saw, and this is something that I've seen in a couple criticisms of the show, you're like, okay, this is not that bad of a house. This is fairly clean. She's going to make it more clean, and that's fine. But this is because it gets that criticism because it's shot reality-wise. It's shot like a very traditional home and garden TV reality show where it's just wild camera looking back and forth between people, where you're just getting a lot of floor space in the in the house. You got to stylize a show like this. You got to lean way into the idea that the shit that this woman is doing is magic. That the stuff that this woman is doing is life-changing. You have to show every little stack on stack and stack of plates. You've got to show every little issue in that room. You have to have a slow-mo of every pile of clothes. You have to make every closet look claustrophobic. Force the person that is watching to feel a tingle up their spine with how out of order everything is. You have to be triggering OCD for art. That's what you need to be doing. Because ultimately, tidying up is a fancier way of showing those pimple popping videos. It is from chaos comes order. So if you're not showing that chaos in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable as looking at a ripe pimple, then you don't give a fuck that this Japanese Mary Poppins is coming into this person's life, making them do a Shinto prayer, and then cleaning up their entire house, or giving them the tools to clean up their entire house. Instead, it just relies on these reality show tropes. I think that Marie Kondo is great. I think that tidying up is fucking bad. It is boring and it is bad. And if you like it, you too are both boring and bad. I'm just kidding. You're probably fine. But I don't like the show. If you have a problem with what I just said, go ahead and send me an email. JuRYDaily@gmail.com. Again, JuRYDaily@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and read your email here for today. David wrote in about our conversation yesterday with Brian Brushwood and renting Little Sisters out in Tokyo. He writes, "At first, this was creepy. It was prostitution. But after I thought I realized my significant other would be fantastic at this in a legitimate way. I would come unhinged if she did it, but I enjoy ideas from outside my bubble." Oh, my God. All right. New question, everybody. New question. Would you be okay if your significant other, girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, and everything else that I've not covered in those 4 major food groups, would you be okay with them moonlighting as a rent-a-sibling. And let's even say little sibling. Rent a little sister, rent a little brother. Would you be okay with that? Or would it make you unhinged or unglued, as David said? Because that is a fascinating reaction. If my wife Ashley were to make some extra scratch pretending to be somebody's little sister, I don't know if I would necessarily mind it. I would certainly be fascinated to hear stories. But then again, I used to hire her for the Go game to sit in a bar and get hit on by contestants. So maybe I'm just a little bit weird. Gary writes, just a note regarding Toto's song. So again, we were still talking about the Africa installation way out in Africa. I'm from South Africa, next door to Namibia, and the song Africa is quite a cult hit in the region, long before it became a meme. You can often hear it played at stadiums for sports events, for example, and could count as an alternative national anthem for both South Africa and Namibia. If you ever want to make a Southern African person away from home tear up, put on Africa. Gary then also adds, if it helps, I'm white. Tell you what, that does help. But also, I did not know this. I'm now going to ask every South African that I know whether or not that is true for them. Whether or not they feel a homesick nostalgia for take me away from you. None of my man among and ever do. They're crying. I was trying to think of a South African accent, but all I could think of was this one episode of the Auntie Donna Boys podcast where Broden and Zach were being South Africans, and they just kept saying, mock, 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 mock. Have you read The Power of One? It's really, the extent of my South African accent is me doing an impression of Australians doing an impression of South Africans. Mock. All right, friends. I want to thank our grand jurors. The Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll, Martian, Joe Acosta, Will, James, the OG, Brito, Will, and Matthew B. You can email me, jurydaily@gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @JustinRYoung. Join our Discord at bit.ly/JuryDiscord. Can't believe we're already at High Thoughts and the mailbag tomorrow. Jesus, this week has evaporated. Friends, I would like for you to please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. And until next time, please, don't.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.